It's Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. I will keep this even though we're running into the same issue we ran into last match that my opponent scooped really early after not hitting land drops in game one. I guess they didn't want to play an Affinity strategy. We have a Herigast, which is a great card to use our Affinity payoff cards with to emerge out, but it's not great to go with our Affinity strategy. So we really need to draw into one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I mean, we're looking at pretty good turn if we can draw. If this was a Furnace Hellkite, we would get a turn 2 Furnace Hellkite out. Sleight of hand. Okay, so some sort of combo or control. Give us a Furnace Hellkite. If I'm doing my math correctly. They want to get the Springleaf Drum out. Ornithopter. Well, get in there. Alright, so I think I'll wait till my opponent's instep and then Mishra's Bauble, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts without the Bauble, which is enough to do anything we want for 1 or 2 mana. And we really need to find some action. See if they kill something though. Profane Tutor. Okay. What are they drawing? A Lotus Bloom. Alright, so they're like a there's a Thought Monitor. Okay, well that's good. That's what we wanted. Can we Thought Monitor into Herigast the way I would like to? Another Herigast. So we can go red, red, 7. I think that's good enough. My dog really wants to get inside right now. So I'm gonna have to go let her in. Alright, we're doing our thing. Turn 3, 6/6 Herigast. How you like me now? Will it be enough? Probably not against the deck that's looking to combo off. We'll see though. That's a clock. All right, let me let my dog in, and I'll F6 through their turn. I mean, they're gonna go get something with this Profane Tutor. We didn't get a lot of action. We got 2 lands. Granted, one of them is the Urza Saga, which is pretty good. I'll have to wait till sideboard boarding, I think. All right. And we got rid of the Galvanic Blast, which is, 4 damage to the face is pretty good. Bobble. I mean, at least the Urza Saga does give us an army. It's still just a 3-turn clock, though. And they're going to go get a combo piece and maybe just go off. I can't remember the name of the card that this deck. It was an archetype for a while, a long time ago. They get to be they can't lose the game, and their life total goes -10 before they die. Blanking on the name of the card. All right, I'm gonna have 6 and get the dog. All right. So I think they get the Profane Tutor. Do they win? Passes Oracle. And then they get their, Angel's Grace. And then they can go exile their entire library, or their entire library. And they win. So cool. All right. So what we got to do our thing. Turn 3, Herigast, but it was not fast enough. So what is good against our opponent? Maybe Damping Spheres. It's good against us, though, too, is the problem. Bunch of counter spells, perhaps. What do we want to take out? Do we care about the Damping Spheres? Maybe not. We've been taking out the turtle every single time to make room. Galvanic Blast doesn't seem that great. Doesn't have a lot of targets other than the dome. Maybe we bring in one Damping Sphere. Pithing Needle, they don't. There's nothing to name. Although we didn't see. I mean, I'll take out the Pithing Needle for now. Relic doesn't seem that great either, but it is a redraw. All right, maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's right. So Angel's Grace, what is that? I can't still blank it on the name of the deck, but it does what it just did to win. No blue source. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna keep it anyway. A lot of lands. Lots of lands. Hopefully we'll draw into a blue source, and we can 1, 2, 3. We have our redraws. We have an Urza Saga that's gonna be huge. We put out huge constructs very quickly. So we may want to go, depending on what we draw, we'll play Urza Saga next turn. I think they're just trying, we would like to see a counter spell or two once we hit a blue source. Hellkite. Be good if we had the mana. Kept the colorless mana base though. Phyrexian Unlife. Is that one of the cards of this deck? I mean, so what we're pricing ourselves into here is just beatdowns with constructs. So make a construct on turn 3, make another construct on turn 4, get the Lava Spur boots, and just start swinging in and put them on a 2-turn clock and hope they don't have their combo by then. I don't think much is gonna change in our plan unless we hit a blue source. But even then, I think we want to go that route and then just use the blue source to redraw. So opponent doing a lot of manipulation of their library and drawing some cards, force negation. That is a good one. That's what we want to see with our Thought Monitor, since we can pitch the Thought Monitor to counter whatever they do to try to win the game. That definitely puts us all in on our plan of beatdowns with constructs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that's a lot of damage. It's like super fast. They thought seized us, and I guess we would. I don't know. Probably just take the force negation, so we would want to keep Thought Monitor and not just pitch it, but see what they're going for. Prismatic Ending on the Mem Knight. Interesting. Okay. Does take away some of our affinity plans, I guess. Makes the construct slightly less large. So this is going to be the Affinity or the Saga win if we get there. What do we draw? Ornithopter's good. So that's going to allow us to grow our constructs even larger. The Lava Spur Boots. I don't think we can kill them though. It's going to be close. 17. 17 is not dead though, and they're going to be at 1. Or 1 is not dead, I should say. Taking 17 to go to 1, but with this Force Negation, I have hope we'll be able to stay alive long enough to. So if they hadn't Prismatic Ending that Midnight, they'd be dead. So I guess that was the right play from them. But hopefully this Force Negation will keep them from being able to do anything to stop what we're doing and our win. But with 6 cards in hand, they might have their own. Well, they can't force it, but they may have their own shenanigans. Looks like without the double blue, we're going to be in trouble though. We won't be able to force. So it's our turn. Angel's Grace, and you can't win. Telling to turn damage, I would reduce your life at all, and blah, 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 blah. Yep. So, fogging us. Our lands are really not working out in our favor other than growing our constructs. Hopefully they won't have another one of those, because no blue makes it hard to cast hard cast Force Negation. Where's it? Do they have a counterspell of some kind? 3 spells on Modern. Pretty good. Yeah, that's Phyrexian Unlife, and then Angel's Grace, and then Pact of Negation. Alright. So can they win this turn? They're going to have to use all their mana next turn, or you using Angel's Grace. So we'd love another Force Negation at this point. Our blue source. Because then we could have probably get the Thought Monitor down. Alright, so here's a Saga. Another colorless mana, land source. So they're still not dead. We will crack this bauble though to draw a card. I don't think they're dead at least. Is Infect. So what is this? You don't lose the game for having 0 less life. As long as you have 0 less life, all damage is dealt to you as though its source had Infect. So yeah, I think next turn is the turn we can try to kill them via damage. Because the first combat phase puts them past 0, and then after that, damage is dealt via Infect. So they're going to have a whole turn. They're going to use all their mana to pay the Pact or use Angel's Grace to not lose the game. Spoils of the Vault. And then they're going to see how this works with what they have. I'm assuming they can win here, but or maybe they're just desperate for an Angel's Grace and they're going to name it and hope to get it or die trying. That could be what's happening right now. What a weird deck. This is like the old school modern. This is modern from many, I don't know how many years ago at this point. Close to 10. And yeah, what a strange way of winning that game. But it's fun. I think having these types of decks in modern keeps modern honest. Keeps it from being just. So then they don't lose a life. Okay, so they don't take damage from that. Is that right? Okay. All damage is dealt to you as though a source had an infect. You lose a life, so you're not getting killed. No damage isn't being dealt, and you're losing life. So that's how that combo works. All right, well, we'll just keep watching the combo. See if they can kill us, since it's been a long time, and I was never that familiar with it. But we'll see if they're able to. So we have maybe a force of negation as a way. Oh, it's a force of negation. That's what we needed. That's exactly why we played to our outs. I don't know if it's going to win us the game or not, but that's what we need to have a chance here. Figuring out their mana. I think so we're gonna let that go. Another force. Exiling Thought Monitor. I think they die now when we get there. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I mean, we had to play to our outs, and we did. And we got exactly what we needed to have a chance against them. So, I mean, what a game. What a crazy game. Is there anything else we can do against them? I really don't think there is. Just try to be as fast as possible. Springleaf Drum, or sorry, Damping Sphere doesn't, I mean, maybe it's okay, but yeah, we'll just run it back and hope to have some interaction and pressure. We got the pressure early and we drew the interaction right on time, like literally in the most strict literal sense of that word. That was the latest we could have drawn. Force negation and still had a chance. Our opponent was able to find what they needed to stay alive. Again with no blue source, but we do have the Springleaf Drum this time, so I think we're going to run with it. Bunch of artifacts. Should be able to draw off this Thought Monitor. Damping Sphere might have an impact on what they get, what they're doing. We'll see. So yeah, keep. I think I'm happy with it. I really have no idea how good Damping Sphere is against them. Hopefully this let us. Hopefully that resolves, because we kind of need all of our artifacts. All right, it's a pretty good start from us. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need another. Man, we need another land. Even if it's an artifact land, it's fine, but we need another land here. Our 0 mana spell. All right, that works too. So it's 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This costs 7. So I think we can do that. And no longer have force of negation, but we'll see what we draw. Hopefully a blue source. Okay. No blue source there, but it's going all in. Hopefully they don't have a sweeper. I mean, I don't know what kind of sideboard plan Phyrexian on life decks bring in. Hopefully we can fade another draw, and then we can keep up force negation mana via Springleaf Drum. When do we want to run out this Damping Sphere? Feel like we want to run it out next turn if we can. Because it will hinder our opponent's ability to go off and combo. See what we draw. We would still like another Thought Monitor, Volcanic Dragon. These would be good draws for us. Herigast, obviously. Another Midnight. All right. How do we want to do this Damping Sphere? Play the land. Play that. Play this. I mean, we're hitting for 5 now. See if they have a response to our Damping Sphere. It's possible we should have, I don't know, I was going to say done it differently to try to, yeah, it's just counter target non-creature spells, controller creates 2 treasure tokens. Okay, so you can see the importance of, so maybe Damping Sphere was the right play. Now we have the treasure tokens, though, that we can use for force negation. The hard cast it. I mean, should we just counter that? I don't think so. I think we want to counter some other combo piece of theirs. What an interesting back and forth this is turning out to be. An offer you can't refuse. I wonder if that's what the Phyrexian Unlife. So we will do blue. So blue. Cast force negation. We're still, I mean, we're out of action though. So if our opponent has a follow up, we desperately need some action here. Well, Urza Saga is technically action, just not for a while. Shields are down. We are probably going to lose now, unless our opponent just has nothing. That is a possibility. They might have nothing. They're going to have 4 cards in hand. They just went for something with Profane Tutor. We're out of cards, so F and 6 and seeing what happens. Or is it F6ing? Can our opponent win from this spot? Yeah, I mean, it's almost this type of deck, the Phyrexian Life, definitely preys on strategies that don't have a way to interact with either hand disruption or counter spells. So I wonder if some of this is also, well, I was going to say maybe it's geared, they think it's good against Nadu. However, a lot of times these types of decks people play, they just like these decks and they always play them. Like this type of deck, we just really enjoy the strategy, the gameplay. It rewards reps. The better you, takes a lot of skill, I think, to get good at this type of deck. And when you have it, damnation, some way to kill all of our things ad nauseam. And they must have, so they just, are they just, okay. They just naming something and hoping to find it? I don't. Angel's Grace, so they reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to this mana value. Alright, so they found the Angel's Grace. Wow. Is that what they needed? Did our opponent get lucky with the top deck the way we got lucky last game? Looks like it. Can we find Counterspell like last time? No, we cannot. So they're going to Angel's Grace. Man, well, you know, one good turn deserves another. So they cast Ad Nauseam in search of Angel's Grace, which makes me think. And they found some other things along the way, like Preordain or something. So they're digging for answers or for combo pieces and our ways not to die. So we are hoping that they again have no combo. They don't have their combo pieces again, or a way to stay alive. We're going to have a gigantic construct here in a second. Preordain. But you can see how the powerful Dampian Sphere would have been, and it turns out we were right to bring it in. I mean, any spell, any deck that's looking to play all these like 1-mana cantrips digging for pieces, it's good to put a strain on their mana to prevent them from being able to either go off all in a single turn. So they no longer have counters, so they're down to 3 mana this turn. I don't think they can win this turn. Could be wrong though. Okay. They're just going out like that. They have the Angel's Grace again. Plus the, I'm just very confused right now. This says Thorel Beto casts Johnny Cycles. Okay. Not sure what that means. So I think they preordain Scry to the top. No, Scry to the bottom. Even then, if they Scry to the top, aren't they going to lose a life for each of the exiled cards? Maybe. Okay, anyway, maybe the Angel's Grace allows them to cast it with this before it resolves, and then I mean, we're going to learn. We're learning all about this deck right now. And I guess it does not. So we got there. All right, well, that's the deck. Affinity Dragons. Is it any good? I don't know. Is it fun? I don't know either. No, it was fun. It's had a nice time playing it. I'm gonna keep practicing, obviously, before I try it in the league. But yeah, what a weird match. It feels like you're just not even playing Magic sometimes against some of these decks. But anyway, for CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one. This has been another edition of Dragons in Modern. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. If you haven't already, check out my website where you can read about my commander decks, my modern jank, and my science fiction novel that I'm publishing serially. Click that like button or the subscribe button on YouTube. Everybody counts. For CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all in the next one.